Today's date is. I'll leave it here. On the fridge, yes, go ahead. Today's date is the 2nd of July 2026. The time now is 7:30 p.m. Um, yes, the time now is 7:30 p.m. Basically, no, basically, nonchalantly, um, I have a diagram here, just a diagram for the origin of life. The origin of life, you know. Um, but before I go into the origin of life, I want to dive into the cycle of the worm cycle. Like this is the lowest life. You get worms, you get like worms before you get anything else. So worms are not the origin of life, but just because they're rare in dirt, because you get dirt everywhere, you know, but you're gonna have dirt everywhere. So my this origin of worm life. Let me just title it properly. Origin of worm life. But it's origin of life, you know. So I'm gonna be very clear. Origin of a worm's life. Uh, where do worms come from? You know. So basically, you have minerals. Minerals such as vitamin D come from the sun, and they hit the dirt. They work on the dirt. So basically, there's this. Let me skip to the main point. So artificial genesis system, artificial genesis system, the womb of Mother Nature, or or incubator for Mother Earth. You know, how can I? There's some drawings I did, some sketches I did, but I didn't take it seriously. I'm not taking anything seriously. I mean, I am taking it seriously. So the artificial genesis system is a system that used to create life, and this is the formula for life. So it's a good rain. Basically, what is mineral? So minerals like such as vitamin D or rays of sun that comes from the sun into the ground, the earth, and the earth, you know, uh, contains a lot of minerals. So in dirt. So the worms don't eat dirt; they eat the minerals in the dirt. So worms don't eat dirt; they eat the minerals in the dirt because their life form can sustain them. So these can contain rocks too, but nothing eats dirt. Nothing eats dirt, you know, because every animal doesn't eat dirt. They eat the minerals in the dirt. That's the hypothesis, because the minerals are calcium, or basically worms are just squirm. It doesn't need bones. Worms don't have bones. They are just squirm. They don't need calcium, but they contain vitamin D, which is in solid form, which is in a solid form. So worms always puke out the dirt, and those puke out the dirt because those puke out the dirt, those poo too, and that becomes over time other microbes, so bacteria that break down and sustain ecosystems. So basically, the poo more bacteria. Basically, the microbes are now become life, become new other kinds of life, and that's the origin of a worm's life. So the microbes they poop out the bacteria. This is my hypothesis. You know, they don't poo poo. They don't poo poo because they can't poo poo. You know, so it becomes any kind of sustaining species for that ecosystem. For that ecosystem. Because the sun's where you hit the dirt gets turned into becomes another form of vitamins, and the vitamins in the dirt become minerals over time. There's calcium, calcium rocks, calcium oxide, oxidized calcium, uh, and take out taking out the equation for everything. The simplest thing is that there's a formula for this. You know, where does worm come from? Hmm. Worm has to come from somewhere. Maybe because they are this. You have to look at the biological composition of it. And I'm thinking that I'm to believe the biological for one because they have no bones. It's come from snakes, some kind of something that slithers. But it doesn't need actual bone. It just needs to be squirmy enough, such as something that's squirmy. So, in the kind of license form of the word, that is another. The worm has to come from the ecosystem, and that's this is the microbes. But where's the first microbe come from? Liquid water. So water is not just pure salt water or pH scaled water. So you get some salt water, pH scale, pH 1 to 14. Water is neutral to yourself. Water is acidical and alkaline is towards 7, and you get a pH scale of acidical alkaline water is basically 13 of or hydrochloric acid is alkaline and that's salty. That's a hydrochloric in our stomach, hydrochloric acid. So the idea is the worm has to come from something, but it's not a system. You know that doesn't belong to this ecosystem. Maybe there's panspermia there, but the worms are uh something that like even the butterfly. The butterfly slithers, and the butterfly slithers. So I'm just trying to put in the formula. So it's a chemical equation. Basically, CHL, HCl, hydrochloric acid, or chlorine. Let me try it down. Hydrochlorine, CH2, H2, CH4. Am I writing wrong? Hydrochloric acid, H2, hydrogen and chlorine, CH4. Basically, the four is the chemical molecule composition. Plus calcium. Calcium is something that become mirror form. So this basically me trying to answer our real life. I can't answer this in one video. It has to be a whole paper. It has to be a whole paper, and it's reproducible because I'm not scientist, but it's just start for my artificial intelligence system. So if you can take something such as the minerals and compose dirt, and compose the byproduct dirt, because I'm treating dirt as a byproduct. Dirt is a byproduct because it's a byproduct of the system. I beg, because everything needs dirt to borrow, you know, to hide, but you don't consume it. You consume rocks. Um, you consume rocks. But you don't consume rocks. You consume the minerals in the rocks. So not even the microbes are always everywhere. So you get this kind of liquid water that germinates, like that's microbial water because there's a lot of microbes in the past, and that comes from algae. But where does the algae come from? Yeah, that's basically packed of microbes. So you can get the same solid tooth of that composition of the water. That's called algae. Algae. So I believe I'm wrong for this I'm saying, unless I'm saying, but because I'm not really formulating properly. So let me just search on the internet. Chlorine. Chlorine is Cl. Hydrochloride. Hydrogen H. HCl. H2Cl. C17. Hydrochlorine. H2Cl. Calcium is Ca. Basically, anything to do with bones is like vitamin C, vitamin D for strong bones. Basically, I'm saying the minerals that come from the earth come from as a production of basically the minerals in sun rays, minerals in sun rays, and those minerals are sun rays. So the sun rays from the sun gets stored in the earth, so it's like a storage thing. Because anything gets stored, get put into earth, but over time becomes so much more. It becomes like iron. You get iron in the earth, and that's a mineral. You get calcium. That's a mineral. You get I know you're happy because it's me. I'm really happy. You get a patch of dirt, but you get basically dirt works in patches. Basically because of the earth moves, you get dirt in patches. So everything that's dirty is patchy. Naturally just patchy because the earth moves. The place move, not the earth moves. Okay, and the earth moves. Yeah, you get patches of it. Yeah, that's why. So I'm gonna stop the video now and analyze my words because I'm not sure what I'm saying. But if we can solve this origin of worm life problem, then we now know our life. Thank you for watching this video.